Welcome back to Goldberg's Garage. Now, each and every week we do our best to bring you kick-ass automotive content. Well, this week we figured we'd throw you a curveball and do things a little bit differently. Today, sporting a 124 cubic inch S&S motor at 140 horsepower, I present to you the 2003 Jesse James West Coast Chopper El Diablo. Jesse James and I became friends in the late 90s. He did my first Diablo for me, the Goldberg Bike, probably in '99. In 2003, we collaborated with this thing, my second El Diablo, 124 cubic inch S&S V-twin, pumping out 140 horsepower, Baker 6-speed, drag bars, signature 6-shooter, Jesse James insignia up here. We have the traditional Jesse James air cleaner over here. We have Avon 250 rubber on the rear. We have Jesse James 21-inch wheel on the front, 18-inch wheel on the back, and that is about it. This thing is a rigid and it drives like a rigid. And this thing's cool because everybody knows the program Bull Run. Back in the day when Matt Kutcher and I drove together, we had two Winnebagos, 3.5 weeks on the road. In the trailer behind his Winnebago was this bad boy, along with one of his motorcycles. And we had some time between takes, between episodes to be able to go out and see the countryside. So it was a lot of fun. Had this thing for a long period of time, probably only got about 200 miles on it. It's a killer bike, took it to Sturgis a couple times. Big shout out to Danny at Count Customs. What happened was I spilled a little bit of gas when I lived out in San Diego on this tank. And the gas and the paint and the stripes in particular do not blend together. And unfortunately, the pinstriping lifted. And so what I ended up doing was I took all the pinstriping off of the bike. It was completely flat black. Fast forward to about 4 years ago, I reached out to Danny at Counts Customs. Great guy, terrific workmanship, craftsmanship in what he does. Those guys are terrific over there. I sent the bike out to him. He got the stripes redone. And this is actually the second time I've taken it out. Let's rip it up. Time out. It ain't one thing, it's another. driving a car is one thing, but when you're on a bike, it is a different sense of freedom. The reality is that there's a hell of a lot of danger associated with it. That's why I don't ride bikes that much. No matter how careful you are, unfortunately, other drivers are not nearly as careful, and they don't really take note of you. But it's a wonderful experience if you can take it out through the mountains and take it out on the weekend, take it out on rides where you're with a group or where you're kind of alone and there's not much traffic. It's a wonderful experience. You and nature and two wheels, a 250 rear on the back. Well, that concludes another episode of Goldberg's Garage. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. You guys know the drill. Like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, every Friday night, 6 p.m., another episode of Goldberg's Garage. You're next.